is how to add a data set to the Innovation Dataset Index using the Google Sheet. And we'll show you the same principle applies for editing anything in the Google Sheet and also applies to adding tools which exist in a different tab in the Google Sheet, and I'll show you that as well. So just to give you an overview, this is the Open Innovation Dataset Index website. This website tracks changes made to the Google Sheet, including additions and edits. If you delete something from the Google Sheet, it won't immediately get deleted from this website, but if you do need something to be deleted, you can let us know. The datasets are displayed on the website here in this list. And if you want to get to the Google Sheet, there's multiple ways to do that, including the About page. But one thing you can do is click on this little pencil icon in this like lozenge-shaped About box here. And the pencil icon is located in this box because the only information on this page you can edit via the Google Sheet is the information that's kept in here. So I'm going to click on this pencil and it's going to take me to the Google Sheet. Now, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to add some data to the Google Sheet. So if I scroll down, and one thing you'll want to do before you do this is just to check that this data set isn't already contained within the sheet. So I'm going to scroll down to the bottom here. As you can see, there's quite a lot of data sets. You can also see that there's 4 tabs down in the bottom. These 3 are to be edited, and it's these 2 are the ones that are currently tracked by the site. So you have one tab of Open Innovation Datasets, which is what I'm going to edit today, but you also have this other tab which is for tools, code, guides, and other kind of surrounding things which are really helpful for innovation research. And both of these you're really highly encouraged to edit. So if I go back to the Open Innovation Datasets sheet, and yeah, you want to start your edit on around line 90 to 100. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to add in a new data set, and I'll add in a little bit of information, just enough to kind of make this record kind of update. So I'm going to add in this data set that's indexed by the NBER, which is a crosswalk of different county codes and published for different federal years up until the fiscal year 2017. So a lot of people do work with different kind of geographic data sets, and so this seems like a pretty useful data set to have in the index. So I'm just gonna add this in, and I'm gonna add in the title, and you'll see when I paste in the title, what happens is automatically a UUID gets created. Don't delete or change this. This is to just index this with the different pages on the site. The next thing I need to do is I need to make a short name for this, and this is required and also has to be unique. And the reason for this is that when this data set gets put into the website, what's going to happen is a file is going to get generated that's where this data set is going to live. And what we want to do is we want to have that file be something that someone will be able to find, so we should give it a name related to the data set's title, and then also it should be lowercase, and it shouldn't have any spaces in it. It should be unique. So I'm just going to name it now as, I think, CMS SSA Phipps County Crosswalk. And it's not compulsory, but I've been naming all of these with underscores, which is kind of nice. It's quite readable. And lastly, I'm just going to add in the location, so that's the URL of the data set. So I'm just going to go back to the index, and I can add in a short description as well. So for now, I'm just going to add in this. This is actually not an amazing description. I probably want to come back to this and actually maybe, for example, expand what one of these acronyms is. But for now we'll be fine. So this is maintained by the NBER and also by this entity CMS. I'll just leave this citation blank for now. The only required fields, I think title is required, short name is required, location is required, but that's it. Anything else, other people can fill in at a later date. And the last thing I'm going to do is just to show you it. I'm going to add in some tags, I guess, like geography crosswalk United States. It doesn't really matter. These don't need to be lowercase. They'll get changed to lowercase anyway, even if they aren't. But it can be kind of useful. The terms I'll leave blank. The time frame I can actually look up. Maybe I should just do that. So that's like 2005 to 2017. And maybe it's got some, yeah, I think that's when it's from. So 2005 to 2017. And if you're like watching this at home, being like, oh my god, that's a terrible mistake. You can come and edit this. And the documentation is just included at this link, it would seem. So I'll leave that blank for now. And lastly, it's versioned. Okay, I think this is enough information. And so I've added in this record, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait 5 minutes, and then what's going to happen is the website, which has a job running that like periodically checks to see whether there have been changes made to the Google Sheet, is going to get the fact that this record has been added, and it's going to update the website from that. And so we just need to wait a minute, and then we'll be able to go to the repository and see this change. So I'm back on the site, and I'm just going to see whether the dataset that I added earlier has actually got incorporated, and so I can do that by going to the search. And as I can see now, this catchily titled CMS's SSA to FIPS, CBSA, and MSA County Crosswalk both appears in the search, and when I click on it, it also appears here, and it'll appear in the list of datasets as well, so I can just show that. And so this page here has all of this information that we added into the Google Sheet, but what it also has currently, which is empty, is the ability to actually like edit this section. So if I wanted to add like longer form notes, images, links to other resources, anything like that that maybe didn't necessarily fit into the Google Sheet, I could probably add it down here. And that kind of edit needs to be made via GitHub, which is what I'm going to explain in the next video. Thanks.